We have Rathers from Dework. Rathers, are you there?
Hey everyone, happy to be here. MetaFest 2, exciting times. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. So Dework is an amazing platform as well. Uh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry you were saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you to share your screen. So do you think you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, your involvement in Dework, and the platform, and how we can use it to support the work and tasks that we have in DAOs?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So hey everyone, I'm Rathers. I'm part of the team here at Dework. Originally founded by Lonis and Fant back when they were the first tech engineers at CityDAO, which most of you may know as the DAO that bought land in Wyoming. And so they actually saw the need for this themselves, working in the space and everything at that time really just being in Discord, trying to figure out where is, what happening, what's the progress on things, what can I contribute with, how can I engage with others, how can I engage with the project, and then how can I collaborate really within the community versus it being individuals working in kind of silos. And so basically, them being previous founders themselves, they saw the need for it and they kind of aimed to fill that. And so they rushed in to build out Dework, kind of launched alpha back in December of last year. I was actually the first external contributor that started engaging with them, and we started rolled it out at a number of DAOs, and really started growing from there. To be one of the leading uh, and largest bounty platforms for organizations right now. We officially launched actually around ETH Denver 2022, and been going strong since then. Overall, it's a platform that, as is written over here, is focused around project management, really about enabling and leveraging the potential of your communities, or even building a community using a tool and a platform like Dework that helps organize and helps people collaborate together. Overall, then allowing them to receive token payments, build a reputation through credentials, NFTs that are minted, and generally bounties being posted out by organizations as well. So a brief overview of myself and of DWorks kind of origins and where we're at right now. Happy to answer any more initial questions, and then yeah, love to get into a demo as well. Hopefully that came through fine. I'm not able to hear anyone, so just checking. Is my audio coming through good? Okay, just coming back to the screen share here. Looks like my audio is fine from my side.
Yeah, you sound good to me.
Okay, are we ready to go? Okay, I'll take that as a yes, and we'll move on to a demo. So yeah, what is Dework? How does it actually function? How do you go about using it, right? If you're new to the platform, the first time you sign in, you get an onboarding flow, and once you're ready to go, you'll land on our homepage. If you're familiar with Discord, you'll get Dework. If not, it's very easy to go. You'll have your list of DAOs and organizations that you join on the left, little menu bar that updates as you navigate. And on your homepage on our website, app.dework.xyz, you'll be able to actually browse organizations and DAOs right from the homepage. You can browse bounties that are available across the platform. We have a featured set of bounties from our top-rated organizations using the platform, and then you can also browse through all the bounties that are available. You can filter by skills that you might have, such as development or say design and marketing, and you can actually then directly from here apply to the task if you're interested, or go ahead and submit work for the task directly from here. So that's a quick way for contributors to get involved. But for organizations themselves, we can take a quick look at how they're structured and how they're engaging with Dework. So let's take a look at Aragon. We all know Aragon. They've got a couple of different workspaces for tech and operations, and they got multiple projects underneath them. They also are able to have private projects and then open projects that are visible to all members of Dework. and then open tasks, which kind of help you as a community member understand what can you engage with, what is available for you to start contributing to. If we take a look at their combined board, that basically shows you all the public tasks across all projects, and you can actually go ahead and view what is the status, what is happening with this organization. In this case, you can see that they have a tendency to basically pay out bounties for tasks and reward their contributors accordingly. And you'll see it's mostly in stable coins. So it gives you a sense of how they kind of operate and what kind of state that they're working at. So they've been using Dework now for a bit, and I think that's a good kind of overview as what you would expect to see for kind of a fully fleshed organization. Now we could switch over, and what does it look like then for creating your own organization and engaging with your contributors. So let's go down. So my demo account, create a new organization. Let's call it demo org. When you go to hit create, we actually allow for you to onboard your tasks from Notion or Trello. So if you've already been using those tools and you want to upgrade into a tool where you want to onboard your community, you can do that. Additionally, you can even import tasks from your GitHub or even sync it so that you can engage with your product team in one space and keep the tasks flowing. I'll start with a vanilla project and organization. And once I hit create, we immediately set you up with a main project, which you can rename if you choose. And if you go back to the overview, you'll see that's basically that space that was filled out for Aragon is now ready for you to kind of start growing. So new projects can be created from the sidebar. Again, you can create from existing boards on Notion or Trello or sync it with GitHub. Otherwise, you can create without importing. Now, the main menu at the top covers key areas, including this board view, and you'll be all familiar with this as a Kanban board, your standard, to do to done kind of workflow. And we can take a look at that now with the tasks. So our task flow is actually where it really becomes native Web3 in the way we approach it. So we could say, let's create a poster for project A. And immediately you can set a permission that defines how can a contributor engage with your organization, engage with this specific task. So we have a couple of different options, including applications, direct submissions, and gating by Discord role, or even directly assigning someone. I'll start off with an application, and you can even set that as a default if you prefer. I'll go ahead and add a bounty. I'll add a new token that I can pay out with. We support a number of networks across Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, and so forth. I'll be using Rinkeby test network right now. And along with selecting tokens that are by default available, you can even add your own tokens, ERC20s, or even 721s and 1155 NFTs. So you can even distribute NFTs or reward with reputational NFTs directly from Dework. Just selecting the token, adding the contract address, and doing a lookup. For my side, I will just be using Rinkeby along with Rinkeby Ether, so test Ether, and hitting add token, and then selecting that. And then we can go ahead and put in a small amount for the demo. If your token is actually listed on CoinMarketCap, you can even peg it to USD, so that instead of saying you're going to pay out in 0.5 tokens, you're saying you're going to pay out in $100 as a reward for this task. So that's a handy feature as well that we have for tokens on CoinMarketCap and soon CoinGecko. Additionally, we'd have skills. So that's helpful for when you want to have people understand, like we saw earlier, and be able to find your tasks. And then finally, you can also set a due date, as well as other context that's helpful for contributors to understand what to do. Over here, go ahead and hit /. We have all kinds of formatting options, and you can add in your details and your requirements. So this helps you inform your audience what the task is about. And let's go ahead and then share this across with Delilah. And she's been browsing and within the community, she comes across this task link that you've shared, and she can go ahead and review it and say, yeah, I'm interested, I can work on this. So she clicks on that, and immediately she can fill out the application form. For now, that means she can set when she wants to start and end. And maybe your requirements mention that she has to have done work like this before, and then include some links, so she can do that. She can even also change the value of the funding. So if she wants to charge less or charge more, she can put that in, and that can, give an indicator of the application. She can track it herself on her own task board under applied, and she can see if she gets accepted for this task. Coming back to the project manager's view, you can actually see now that there's an application from Delilah come through. You get her Discord ID as well. If you've not synced your Discord, we give you that so you're able to reach out and connect with them. And we also see all the details that shared, as well as allow for you to connect through on the profile picture, and you can actually see which other organizations is she part of, as well as what Discord roles they have. So this is something that you can't do in a standard, just looking at the profile on Discord. And so we enable that to kind of be, an approach for kind of a Web3 LinkedIn in that sense. You additionally also see the task feed, how many tasks are completed, including private tasks, which don't show up in the feed. And that can help you to take a look and see, yeah, Delilah is the right person for this task. So let's go ahead and assign her. So once she's assigned, it automatically moves the task to progress. It marks it as assigned, and it updates the due date as well. So now in this case, Delilah is able to directly start engaging with this task and submit her work. So she's created the poster and she adds in a link. Maybe it's an online file that she's sharing, and she moves it into review. She can't move it to done because she's just a contributor. So this allows for that final check and quality control before the task is made available for payment. So you go ahead as a project manager then and review it. You take a look at the task, take a look at the submission, and you choose to approve it if you feel like it's met that quality bar that you have. And once you're done, there you go. This task is ready for payment. And that flow as well will come back in just a sec. Before I do that, I will go back and show the other ways you can assign members to tasks. And so we'll do, in this case, create a meme for our hackathon festival. And in this case, we'll change the permission to submissions, and we'll put a bounty amount. So every winner of the contest will receive this same amount directly to them. And so that's as much as you could, as little as we can go to get going. And once that's set up, I'll go ahead and submit one from my side just to showcase multiple submissions. Have one from my side, and then I'll go over to Delilah's, and I'll make one more from her side just directly from the card. Let's put this as link 2. And on submission of that, and going back to the project manager's view, you can see there are multiple submissions. So you can use this for hackathons or contests, all kinds of different use cases. We've seen Tails get quite creative with this. And you can then accordingly have a number of winners. So say you have 10, 50, 100 entries. You want to reward the top 1 or 2. Say it's 2. You go ahead and click approve, and you can click more than 1. And what that does is it marks it as an approved submission, and we create a subtask on the same card that matches the name, that matches the reward amount that we set earlier, and it links up with the assignee that was approved. So the same thing will happen then when I approve Delilah. We'll get another subtask that is ready for payment for her. And now this basically queues them up and ready for payment in batches if you choose as well. And this can continue getting submissions until you move it across to done. And so that's the multiple submissions format. Now, say you want an in-between setup. You want something that works for certain kinds of audiences as a reputation, but you don't necessarily want them to have to submit to kind of vie for that, reward. You can then actually go ahead and specify Discord roles that is pulled in from your server to then say that these Discord roles can automatically claim the task. So I'll go ahead and connect to the Discord server. I have a test one called Fast Fries DAO that should show up in a few moments. Here we go. And I'll add the Dework bot. So we also have a Dework integration that basically means we can share updates to your Discord community. Whereas I'm coming back here and I'm creating this task. Let's actually set some specific roles. Oops, sorry about that. Let's just authorize that again. Should be good. And oops, yeah, let me click authorize. And let's go ahead and set the roles for this task. Let's say we don't want to keep it open. We want to keep it only to say the Genesis team and say, marketing leads. And we put a little bounty on it as well. Why not? We're using test ether. It's fine. And so now this task is claimable by anyone who has that role. If we go back over to Delilah's view and we refresh, you'll see now that on her side, she doesn't have those roles. It says it's open for that, but she doesn't have that. So for her, it's a standard application. But if I go back to the task on the project manager's view side and change it to now, say, contributors, because Delilah has that, we go back over, hit a refresh, and now she can just directly claim the task. So this is great when you want a level of autonomy, you want to enable people who have earned a reputation in your community to directly be able to pick up a task and start working, not have to apply, or you have a standard or a quality that you want to have for the output, and you know that if you assign it to a specific role, someone who has that role and picks it up will be able to move it, engage with it, and actually submit the work, possibly even more on time than maybe other contributors. So that's where this gets really handy. And beyond that, really, you also have the ability to use that integration for the talking with your community directly from Dework. So what that means is you can go to integrations and you can go ahead and choose how do you want to engage with your community directly from Dework so they are aware and enabled to actually engage and get productive, right? So let's go over to that Discord server and we'll see that we have a couple of channels over here. Let's make a new one. Let's call that bounties. Let's create that channel. Oops. We'll hit create channel. We get that channel over there. And then we'll go back over, hit refresh. And now we'll be able to select that bounties channel from the list. So let's set up this integration where every task that has an assigned person to it will get a thread. So you can actually communicate about your tasks within your community. So earlier you were communicating with them, but you had no way of setting the progress. But now you can do that with Dework, and you can continue engaging with your community on Discord. Additionally, you want to have a message and inform people whenever you have your new bounties or new tasks created. You can turn that on as well. So let's go ahead and connect that. And then what we get is this update that's shared out to your Discord, specifically the channel that you created. Let's just set it as applications, put a little reward amount. All of this information gets displayed on the card. Put a little due date, gets displayed on the card that gets sent to Discord. So people right from Discord know if this is the task for them. So we go over to the bounties channel. Oh, looks like I made two. Apologies for that. And yeah, here's the update. So now people in the community know, and they can click through it. They can grab that link. Let's go to Delilah's view. And let's say she clicked on that link in the Discord, and she opens up directly to the task. She can even chat about the task before she applies for it. And that opens up a new channel. Or she can just do a standard application and then go ahead and make that. So now this will allow you as the contributor to directly get to Discord and discuss with the reviewer as a contributor, or if you are the manager of the task and you're looking to actually chat with them before deciding for this specific task, are you the right fit, or you want to take a look at the portfolio, etc. You can have those discussions in your Discord as you please. So this is really handy. And additionally, we give you a thread in the channel that was created so that you can actually track the work as well. So I'm seeing a little bit of a lag over here. Just want to make sure that my audio is still coming through fine. If someone can just chime in, that would be great.
Yeah,
You
good man.
you've had a
Awesome.
little bit of choppiness to it, but overall you've been pretty good.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we can wrap up with just this final flow and the payments. So let's say we've got this and we've assigned Delilah, and now you get a slightly different flow because you automatically have them added in to the thread, all right, tags me, letting me know the due date's updated because it matches our application. We get Delilah added in as well. We can chat about the task and have a conversation. Very minimal disruption to your channels. Not visible unless someone actually chooses to open it and engage. And we keep the update as well as to what is the status directly within the name of the thread as well. And then if we were to go ahead and have a submission from Delilah's side, let's quickly just refresh that. Let's go ahead and move this to review and make a submission. You'll get that as well carried forward into Discord. So that's ready for the manager without having to necessarily keep checking Dework. See that there's a task ready for review as they get tagged, see the submission, and just again directly click through from here to get access to that content. And if it meets the bar, go ahead. If not, you have the Discord thread. You can keep chatting about it. And once you've marked it as done, ready to go, and the task is ready for payment over here, and we get the update that the task, we get the update as well on the inbox for the individual. So we can then take a look very quickly at payments. So if you were to click payment and you're not yet set up your payment on Dework, very quickly you click that, we take you to the settings of your project, and you can add payments across multiple different types. Generally, we see DAOs using Gnosis Safe, so let's go with that. And I will go ahead, oops, sorry about that. I'll go ahead again, and since I chose Rinkeby Ether, I will select Rinkeby, and then I will just copy over the address of my safe, paste that in. All I'm doing basically is checking that all the system is basically doing is checking that I am a signer on this safe since I'm signed in with my MetaMask. Otherwise, it will not allow me to add it. That just ensures that it's a valid payment method and not just any safe. You'll also see that since we chose Gnosis Safe, you no longer have individual pay buttons for each task. So instead of having to pay for tasks one by one, or if you're not yet even in a system like this, you're using Excel sheets and you're collecting wallet addresses, you don't need to do any of that anymore. You have your task finished, you have the rewards, people are assigned, they have their MetaMasks updated on their Dework profile. We can directly click Pay Now. It shows who all's getting paid for what tasks and how much. And you can directly create the transaction and sign it right from Dework. And then it will follow every authorization protocol that you have, the signing method that you have on your Gnosis Safe. So at the same time, you'll be getting updates within the cards. You get whatever is getting completed will get marked as completed, and the Gnosis Safe itself has the updates of the tasks that are getting paid out. Oh, here, this is the one with 4 actions. So we'll basically use a Gnosis actions, multi-send with actions to go ahead and allow you to execute that. And once it's executed, it'll have the transaction hash attached to it. And additionally, that is on each card for an individual to take a look at. They can view it on the Explorer and see the transaction being paid out from the DAO to the contributor. So this is really great, as I mentioned earlier, for batching and for enabling, reduction of operations if you're really paying out to a large contributor base as well. I guess we could, take a look at one last thing since we have just a bit of time, and we can leave 5 minutes for questions if that's okay. Okay. So we have permissions. This is another really handy tool, and kind of going off of the back of what's been kind of the norm as of now, and evolving over time, is people have roles in the Discord that kind of identify the reputation. And so you can use that again directly in Dework to say that, hey, the Genesis team and the admins automatically can manage this project. So whoever is cycling through roles, for example, you want all validated contributors to be able to just create their own tasks without bounties, mind you, so that you can add the bounties maybe retroactively. You can allow for that autonomy and allow for that engagement with your community. So they don't have to wait for you to make tasks. You don't have to wait for an idea to bubble up to a point of making it a task. So a lot of different ways you can use this. And additionally, for those organizations that are looking at possibly using it both for internal use cases as well as external, you can even make any single project into a private project and again define which roles can view it. So if I just save it with, say, dev L3, and I go back to Delilah's view and refresh, we'll see that she now does access denied and it'll show which roles can actually view it. Then if I change it again to contributors as well and save, we'll now see that when she refreshes, she now has access to the board itself. So this is another very quick note. We have a couple of other things as well, like templates, token gating directly within Dework per project. And for a lot more to kind of wrap up over here, you can also take a look at our own Dework organization, app.dework.xyz/Dework, and you can just take a look at our development and see what we're working on. A lot of alpha over here. So if people have some questions of what's on our roadmap, we're working openly, open first. Feel free to drop in and ask questions anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's a great overview of Dework. I love the platform. Metafactory uses it a lot for bounties, and it's great for organizing the amount of things people do, even putting specific value amounts on tasks and spelling out requirements and managing outside contributions. Are there any ways that we can use the Dework platform within Discord and use Discord triggers to create Dework bounties?
Yes, so that's coming up pretty soon. It's been in the pipeline for a bit. We got a early push for that a short while back, and so that's been in development. And I don't have an ETA right with me, but that is something that we're looking to. I think we're starting it off with community suggestions directly from Discord, and that might open up into other options as well over time.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. So if people wanted to get involved with Dework, or try out the app, dework.xyz is the address. Where would they be able to reach that community best? Are you guys on Discord?
Yep. So actually, if you just log on to app.dework.xyz, we have our Discord, our Twitter, our documentation is also visible here, and you can even send feedback directly from the application. So Discord and Twitter are our most active. We have channels for feedback, questions. We have a welcoming community that are answering and helping out with workflows and identifying best practices as well. So feel free to drop in anytime.
Excellent. And is there any cost for people to use Dework?
No, it's a 100% open and free platform. We're here to help build out the space. There are options in the long term to look at monetization, but the aim is to really focus on how can we make this the most impactful. As I mentioned, like the founders, they saw that in their own efforts to kind of contribute to the space, and this is their way of engaging and giving back in that sense. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for your time. Any final questions to wrap up, or we good to go?
I'm sure we'll have plenty of questions when we come back for the DAO tooling panel. Will you be able to make that?
Sounds good.
Okay, excellent. And we'll pick your brain more about tooling later. Thank you so much.
Sounds great. Have a great one. Stay safe, everyone. See you in the chat. Cheers.